Hello and welcome to the Wild Precious Lives podcast. I'm your host for today's episode, Ginny McAninny. Today I'm going to be talking about plastic bag alternatives. With states such as Victoria and Queensland following suit with other states and banning the single-use plastic bag, here are some options that I'll give you of the best bags to take when you do your shopping and also ways to remember how to bring your bags. Before we get into that, just let me give you another reminder about our podcast sponsor, Living the Change, the documentary by two Kiwi filmmakers a Kiwi and an Australian filmmaker who have gone to New Zealand and just talk to people who are everyday Joes like you and me, but who've decided that they want to make a difference in the world and do some things that are going to be a bit more sustainable, better for the environment, both within their homes and their community. It's a great, inspiring documentary. So if you haven't checked it out already, please go and check it out on our bit.ly link, bit.ly/change-WPL. That's bit.ly change/WPL. Okay, so let's get straight into it today. So very excited to hear that the big supermarkets are banning the single-use plastic bag. I know Aldi have already done this, so they're always a step ahead with these kind of things. So it's good news for us, but there are a few little traps and things to fall into. I've been bringing my own bags to the supermarket for quite a few years now, and I've worked out what's the best and what's not the best. So I thought I'd just share my knowledge with you on that and just give you some tips so you can remember to bring your bags each time. So good news is that they've been banned. The bad news is that they're also selling the tougher, more durable plastic bags for 15 cents, which is really not that great. So it gets you because if you forget your plastic bag, if you forget your bags, of course, if you've got a big load, you're going to have to buy that 15-cent bag. So if you're listening to this, you won't be able to see my bags, but I've got a little bag display here that I'm going to show everyone. So this is what they look like. Ta-da! So it's just a tough single-use. Oh, well, not single use, you can use that quite a few times. Now, sure, it's better, but still not a great alternative. So as you know, that the reason why these bags are being banned in the first place is obviously for the environment. Plastic pretty much never breaks down. So every bit of plastic that has been on this earth is still in some form or another here. So buying another plastic bag, even though you can use it several times before it breaks, it's still not great because, again, then it could end up in the waterways. And, of course, this is just awful for our marine life. There's so many pictures that you can see even on the net these days of turtles and fish who have got these things in their stomachs from eating them once they've broken down into smaller pieces or strangling them, that kind of thing. And also, if they don't end up in the waterways, they ones that aren't used anymore often end up littering and cluttering the infrastructure that we've got, and they're very hard to clean up. So good to stay away from those ones. Now, the second option, which has been around for quite a while, are the green bags. Now, they're called green mostly because that's their colour, not because they're environmentally friendly. Now, the supermarkets have been selling these for a while, and even though they're a lot more durable and they last for a long time, the bad news about these ones is that they are made from polypropylene, which is plastic number 5. So even though they sort of don't look like it, they're actually made from plastic, and you need to use one of these babies 104 times before it actually has positive environmental effects. So think about that, 104 times. How many times have you got these and absolutely forget every time to bring them? So that's a lot of times you're going to have to use this till it's got, it outweighs the whole process that goes into this and the plastics that it's made out of. So again, not a bad alternative. And I use these because I've got so many of them. But what I do is when it's breaking off and the handles, are a bit flimsy, I just quickly sew it up, and then the handles stay a bit stronger and you can use them for a bit longer. So that's a little tip with those ones. So again, those two are going to be your common ones, but not so good. So let's move on to ones that I'd recommend, and it won't cost you much to buy these, and then once you've got them, you'll be able to use them for ages. So the ones that you can get that supermarkets sell them, but also they're better off to buy on some online shops like BioMe or biome.com.au, is a jute bag. Now, just grab the jute bag that I've got here. So I thought I was doing the right thing one time. I forgot my bags at the supermarket and I bought this lovely jute bag that says healthy living, very cute. And I thought, great, it's made of jute, it hasn't got the plastic, so I'll grab that for $5. So I got that, but then when I got it home, I didn't realize it has a very thin plastic coating on it. The lining is a thin plastic coating. So even though it looks good from the outset, not the best because of that plastic coating. Again, if you've got it, keep using it and use it as much as you can. Alternatives are, there are jute bags that you can get that don't have that coating in them, but you probably won't find those at the supermarket. Again, you'll probably find those at some health food shops or markets. Just keep an eye out for those sort of bags around there. Next one, which I like, this is quite a funky one if you go into a farmer's market, are the organic cotton bags. So they sort of look like a string bag with holes in it. So this one I got up in Queensland at a funky little market up in Currumbin, I think it was. And what they do is they're easier to carry around. So if you wanted to sort of put that in a smaller bag or in your handbag, much easier to carry around, and it sort of expands with that strings or that cotton string effect, so you can fit quite a lot into that. So again, that has been made out of cotton, so there's no plastic in that, and it's nice and durable, so they will last a long time. Now, the other bag like this is those organic cotton bags, the shopping bags. So again, they're like those calico kind of bags that sometimes the kids at school will paint or draw on and give them to you for Mother's Day. So I've got quite a few of those. So they're really handy. Actually, I use them often just to take my lunch and stuff to work in because I just need a bit of a bigger bag for that kind of thing. Only trouble with those ones, are they're smaller. So with them being a bit smaller, not that great to fit all your groceries in. You might be able to find bigger ones out there. So alternatives for these can be found, like I said, I don't have an affiliate link with Biome or biome.com.au, but I know they're great, and that'll just give you a starting point of where to get those bags. Now, another one that I've been using for a long time is I suppose they're silk bags. Actually, this one's from IKEA. But so you'll see the silk bags, all right, with a nice handle, and they pretty much scrunch up. So you can, and some of them have little pockets, so it fits nicely into their self-made pocket that comes with it. So scrunch up's really small, and then I find if I put that in a pocket in my handbag, it just fits in there nicely. So I carry around 2 of these and just put them in the handbag. So anytime that I have to make a quick run to the supermarket and I don't think, oh no, I haven't got my bags, I've always got 2 of those in my handbag because they hardly take up any room. They're fantastic and just great for picking up bits and pieces if you have to do a quick supermarket run. So that is a definite thumbs up from me, those ones. Now, the other bag I just wanted to show you is with the supermarket and you need to get produce. So you need to get a few apples, you need to get your spinach, loose spinach, that kind of thing. So what I found was from Onya, which is an online company, Onya. I think it's on, I'll put the link in the show notes, but just Google Onya. So they have these awesome produce bags. So it comes in a cute little carry bag, which is like made out of, that sleeping bag cover material with a little hook. So I hook that to my bags that I take to the supermarket with me, and then I'll open it up. Mine are a bit dirty because I've been using them for the unwashed potatoes. So basically you can see through them, which is great because you don't want to use bags that the checkout person can't see. They need to see quickly what's in them. So it's just like a little, sort of like a mesh, kind of really fine mesh, and it's actually made from recycled plastics, I think. Let me have a look. Made from 100% PET recycled plastic drink bottles. Very cool. So there you go. So, and then it's got a little drawstring, so you can just I always just put my, whatever I'm getting, my veggies and that sort of stuff in there. And I try and make an effort to get the loose leaf spinach and put it in there, as opposed to, the spinach that you get in the container with the plastic over it as well. So they are great. And because I just connect them to my green bags that I take every week to do the shopping, I don't have to think about it. They're just there. So they're the sort of main bags that I'm using and the main alternatives. Just if you're sort of thinking about it, the main thing is just don't get plastic. See if you can, if you're buying new ones, just don't get the plastic ones. So that's the main tip that I'd recommend. And then in terms of remembering to bring them, because that's where we all struggle, is what I've done is I've got a whole, like we all have a whole bunch of these plastic bags, I'm sure, the green bags that we take to the supermarket. So what I do is I just leave them in the back of the car. So my husband Lee's got some, he leaves them in the back of his car, and I leave mine in the back of my car. And then that way, if you've got those trips where you just need to stop and get some stuff, you don't have to go, oh no, I forgot my bags. They're in the back. They're always in the back. So the main thing is once you've unpacked the bags, you just need to remember, just put them by the door as you're going out again. So when you go back out to the car next, you can put them back in the car. That's when the system just doesn't work, when you forget to put them back. So that's the top tip, keep them in your car. But my second top tip is what I was saying before about those silk bags. They're so good just to scrunch up and keep them in your handbag. 2 of those solves your problem most of the time, because often you might go into the supermarket and then you've forgotten the bags in the back of the car anyway. So these ones are in my handbag. I've got them with me pretty much all the time. So that's the tip there. Now the other thing is, let me get another bag of mine that I love. This is a plastic bag I got on a holiday somewhere. It's really funky. It's got a picture of Frida Kahlo on it, and it's just sort of one of those, it looks quite funky and retro. So even though this is plastic, I bought this about 5 years ago and I use it all the time. So if I'm, like I said, with going out to work with lunch and stuff like that, I eat quite a lot, so my lunch is often really big. So when I can't fit it all into that calico bag we were talking about, I often put my lunch and just bits and pieces from work in that. And then if I need to go and buy something, for the kids, I've got to get something in my lunch break, I'll just take that bag down with me and just put whatever I am buying in that bag. And then that way, it sort of looks a bit funky as you're walking down Chapel Street. So it doesn't look too daggy, like, carrying around your green bag, your green recycled bag. So yeah, so the other thing is, don't get too hung up on it. Like if you see a bag like that you really like the look of and you're going to get a lot of use out of it, just get it. And so long as you're using it over and over again, it doesn't, don't give yourself a hard time about it. And that's the same thing with these bags that we've got to take to the grocery that I said everyone's got 100 of them now, the green bags. So, keep using them. And just little things though, if it is breaking, it took me two minutes just to quickly sew that handle up when it was falling off. And I just think, well, there you go, that's lasted a bit longer. And I usually use them when I donate things to charity. I usually use the ones that are a bit older and put all my charity donations in that one as well. So that was my quick roundup of plastic bag alternatives. And I hope you've got something out of it. I just thought it'd be good to share with you, what I've been doing and what I've learnt. That whole, all those, you have to carry those green bags around 104 times. You've got to use them before they, have that positive impact on the environment. It's just good to know that kind of stuff, because otherwise, you can then think before you start. If you need to buy bags, think before you buy the bag. So let me know. I'd love to hear from you and what you're doing. And if you've got any tips for remembering your bags as well, that'd be really handy. But yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. If you like this podcast and if you like what Trina and I are doing, please make sure you leave a review, write us a little quick review and a rating, a 5-star rating on iTunes, because we'd love to, have that go up in the ratings in iTunes. So just search for Wild Precious Lives. Also on the blog, we also do this video on the blog as well, and we do the show notes and a bit of a wrap up of what we've talked about. And we have the YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel too. So thank you for tuning in, and until we see you next time, have a great week. And remember, what are you doing with your one wild and precious life?